Hello, everyone. Good to see you again. Hope you got something to nibble on, eat, snacks, whatever you need. Hello, Cece and Gypsy and Minnie. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you all again. We are going to be talking about, today is the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. We're going to be talking about Jonathan Hoang today. Now, Jonathan is 21 and autistic. Last seen March 30th, very similar circumstances to Sebastian Rogers. And he was last seen when he went to bed, March 29th, and when in the morning he was not there when mom went to wake him up. The clothing that they thought he was wearing, they found washed and folded in the laundry basket of his sister's. There was no footage of him leaving the home after returning from his evening walk, which there was footage of him returning. He is around 10, although he's 21, has the mental capacity, 10 years old, they said, the family. And they have been very concerned about him. Now, in the beginning, law enforcement released that he was in bare feet, no shoes. However, the family said that is inaccurate, that they have always said they think he had on the mother's little house slippers, black, that were by the door and are missing. The other thing that's missing is his iPad, which he only takes with him on plane trips and long road car trips. So mom had said in the beginning that she saw him last when he was going into his bedroom after he got back from his walk that evening with his iPad. Now, I did read an article. There's a little bit more information than that. Dad had seen him apparently after that going down to the guest room to sleep. So we're going to get into some of the more information that's there. And then in the morning, he was not there. Also, about a month in, the family said they have an idea of where he might be. And I've never heard anything come of that. However, within about the first week, they went to the Attorney General or the FBI to report local law enforcement because local law enforcement was telling them he's 21, there's not much we can do. They were saying, listen, he's an adult, but yes, a vulnerable adult. They did get his status as endangered in the state of Washington. The parents got, I believe, guardianship over Jonathan, and they've just had a time with the police. So they were told to report their local law enforcement by the FBI, told them to report their local law enforcement to their state attorney general, which they did. The attorney general's office had an attorney on it within a day or two contacting the family. Now, also the National Autism Association, I believe, is standing beside the family, and they put out an entire document that we went over on a live before, and I'll attach it to the end of this one, that said they didn't get all of the footage they should have gotten within the amount of time they're supposed to be doing that they have treated this like Jonathan ran away, and they know he wouldn't. He loved being home. Now, in the beginning, we had heard, he loves his transition school. He even asked the night before, is what was originally said in an article, that if he could go another year there, and he loved living at home. Now, it's been added to or adjusted or clarified that he did not want to go to school the next day. He did not want to go to school the next day. Dad said, go get some rest and we'll talk in the morning about it. So I'm worried. That's the first I've heard that. So I'm a little worried. Was there something bothering him about going to school that made him leave? Was he being bullied? Right? I worry about that. For him not to want to go to school the night before, but he loves school enough to want to stay there another year. I think that's a little bit of a red flag to me. But see, now the problem is law enforcement, they turned it over to the criminal investigation, but the family had to raise a GoFundMe in order to get private eyes to help out. The private eyes had footage. Law enforcement didn't want to look at it. So once the attorney general's got an attorney in it, they said they'd look at it. So it's a mess. But the good news is, within the last week, there had been no sightings. Families worried sick. They said they might know where he is, but they'd need law enforcement's help. I'm not sure, to make sure he was there. He could have left upset, especially if he didn't want to go to school the next day, but that is just my theory. However, in the past week, there has been video footage, and we're going to watch it, camera footage from a Ring doorbell. Hi, little Miss Sharon. Hi, Robin. Hey, Woman's Warrior. For a Ring doorbell footage that the family has seen. They think it is Jonathan. They even heard the audio of him going, and they said that is his verbal stim. Also, the way he carried himself and held himself. We're going to watch this footage. They are so convinced that they conducted a search earlier this past week, Wednesday, I believe, in the area where they thought they saw Jonathan, which was, let me go into the map right there where I showed you, not far. The interesting twist is it would 1 hour and 2 minutes. Let me see how many miles. Sorry, y'all. Let me see how many miles that was. I don't know. I'll put it back for you. But the interesting twist is, so you know, it's an hour away driving. How would he get there? The interesting twist is the address of where they spotted him on those cameras is similar to the address where he lives. I don't know, Minis. That's been a question I've had all along. Why, if they knew where he was, why didn't they just go get him? I don't know. They said they thought they might know where he is. And so I don't know. But listen to this. The address where he lives is 114th Drive in Arlington. The footage where he's been spotted on 3 different homes' cameras, and the family is convinced it's him. I have them talking in an interview for you. So 114th Drive is Jonathan's home in Arlington, Washington. He's lost, if this is him, on 114th Lane in Kirkland, Washington, which the family thought, oh my goodness, that in itself, even more so than the fact that it looks like him, he walks like him, he holds himself like him, he sounds like, he's verbalizing like he would. And they said that, and just a little warning, excuse me 1 second, I'm going to step away from a message, important. Okie dokes. That address was really something else, right? So they're worried he is on that street now. After seeing it and hearing him and watching him, they're convinced it's him, but also they think someone needs to be helping him because he's clean. Okay? He's clean and looks okay. He was trying to get into the porta potty in the footage. So I'm going to show you the footage first before we move on. This is Jonathan Hoang.
Home surveillance video.
This is credit to King 5 Seattle. Let me go ahead and put our fair use banner up there just so we make sure we're on the up and up. Okay. King 5 Seattle. And this is the footage that the family saw and is convinced this is Jonathan. And we can watch it a couple times.
Video from Kirkland is sparking new hope in the journey to find Jonathan Hoang.
It's our best chance finding him at this point. It's the most promising lead we've had.
The 21-year-old man who has autism is from Arlington and has been missing for 3 months.
I really believe it is Jonathan. He's really trying,
Take a look.
to find his way home.
His family says the person caught on camera on the evening of June 23rd bears a remarkable resemblance.
Resembles my brother, and what stood out to me is the way in which he walked and carried himself, his posture.
His sister says the location of the possible sighting is interesting too.
That the street number is 114th Lane, Northeast 114th Lane, Kirkland, and my parents live on 114th Drive, Northeast in Arlington. So we're thinking maybe, possibly, he was trying to find his way home.
It's been unbearable. It's been really hard.
The lack of answers has been weighing on loved ones. Jonathan vanished without his jacket or money from his family home, a place his father says is his safety zone.
He does everything very habitually. He doesn't change his routine. That's just how he behaves, on the spectrum. He presents very well as a normal cognitive adult. But once you engage him and talk with him, you realize that he is not a 21-year-old. At most 10,
His family sharing this video, hoping to raise awareness.
We have to be here for him. We have to advocate for him because he can't advocate for himself. He cannot help himself.
Well, the family is also working with Crime Stoppers to offer a $10,000 reward.
And the benefit of going on, we'll look at that footage again. The benefit of going on to Dateline is after they put Jonathan's story on Dateline, someone watching who doesn't even know the family donated $90,000 to the reward. So the reward is now $100,000. Thank you, Robin, for sharing. Oh, were any of you with me when we watched the video of all the family members speaking to him? I'll have to pull that back up out of my file someday. It's just so sad. The family. Now the mother, I want to clarify. The female speaking was the sister and the male was the father. Okay. I do not know. That baffled me too. If they knew where he was, why not go there? I was so confused about that statement. And now months have gone by since that statement was made. So I don't know if they went there and checked it out and he wasn't there. I don't know. I have another interview lined up for us, but I wanted to show you the footage again. Okay, here's something here. I want to read your comments real quick. I hope you all don't mind. Sorry in the bushes and on the replay, but there's some very relevant comments here. What if he momentarily escaped from someone? Oh my gosh. And had gone to the similar address. Woman's warrior, that's terrifying. He did look like, I'm going to show it to you again. They said he did look like he was disoriented in things. And did I show you the porta potty one where he's by the porta? Let me get you better footage on that. Hold on one second. I want to get you better footage.
The Vacay Dream Team. They don't just
Surveillance video from Kirkland is sparking new hope in the journey to find Jonathan Hoang.
It's our best chance finding him at this point. It's the most promising lead we've had.
The 21-year-old man who has autism is from Arlington and has been missing for 3 months.
Really believe there is Jonathan. He's really trying, to find his way home.
His family says the person caught on camera on the evening of June 23rd bears a remarkable resemblance.
Resembles my brother, and what stood out to me is the way in which he walked and carried himself, his posture.
His sister says the location of the possible sighting is interesting too.
That the street number is 114th Lane, Northeast 114th Lane, Kirkland, and my parents live on 114th Drive, Northeast in Arlington. So we're thinking maybe possibly he was trying to find his way home.
It's been unbearable. It's been really hard.
The lack of answers has been weighing on loved ones. Jonathan vanished without his jacket or money from his family home, a place his father says is his safety zone.
He does everything very habitually. He doesn't change his routine.
Sorry, y'all, that was the same one. I'm looking for, there's articles that have more footage out there. So I'm looking for that for you. Sorry about that. I'm looking for that other footage for you. But that's a great comment. That could have happened. I don't know why they didn't go where they thought he was. I just didn't understand that. Apparently, the dealership knows Jonathan's uncle, in my opinion. What dealership, Prayer Warrior? Renee Marie said, Jay, you are amazing at covering these missing children. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Right back at you. That's so kind of you. What are you talking about, Kimberly? We are simply relaying the news. My goodness. We are relaying the news. Calm down. Mods, please. Let's take care of her a little bit. So anyway, there is footage where he is also there's 3 camera footages, and one he's near a porta potty. That's what I'm looking for. And I was watching it earlier. That's why I'm not sure. I thought I had it. We had little time though. Here, no, that's still the one. Let me see. Sorry, y'all. Because we were on earlier. I just haven't, I guess I didn't have it lined up. Okay, well, while I'm looking for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the footage again of Jonathan, who the parents think is Jonathan. Interesting. Okay. So the family, because they believed that was him so much, and I'll try and get the footage of him by the porta potty, because they believed it was him so much, they formed a search to go check the neighborhood of Kirkland, and they said they're calling it the Juanita Park search. And we have a little clip of them down there, but they're going to be searching that area because they do believe that's him. Hey, Beth, they do believe that is him. And even the and the way he walked, the way he carried himself. So they're hoping by searching that neighborhood that they will locate Jonathan. And because of the similarity in the addresses, that maybe he got confused and he's trying to get home, So I sure hope that they locate him in that area and can bring him home. So, excuse me. Let's get back to our theme. Okay, now I do want to show you. Let's see here. Oh, here they are looking for him. Okay, this is credit to Cairo 7. And here they are, the search, and I believe it was on Wednesday. Oh, here's the footage. Oops, sorry. I believe this has the footage of it, of the porta potty. So let me make sure you're seeing that one now. I don't know why you weren't. Hold on, let me go here. There we go. Okay. I'm glad I checked on y'all. Okay. So this is credit to Cairo 7. And this does have the porta potty in it. I saw a little glimpse of it, but I want to know what you all think. Does it look like Jonathan to you? And he didn't have his money or his cell phone with him, by the way, or his jacket, just so you know. Mods, can you please start banning people? We have people in the house. You said, oh, sorry, I thought this was about summer. Oh, okay. Thank you. I just banned Rapper for saying the N word. We don't, so I'm sorry, Woman's Warrior and Gypsy and Prayer Warrior and Minnie Panthers. We're obviously have people who don't have enough to do on the holiday. So let's see here. Prayer Warrior. Good. You're really up on it. Good. Thank you. I know you send me some great things. The family asked everyone in the area to come out between 7 and 8 and call out for Jonathan, check out buildings, etc. last night. Bless their hearts. They're really... Prayer Warrior, do you have that video I shared a while ago from Facebook where all the family members were speaking to Jonathan? If anyone has that, if you could send that to me before the end of the show, we can end our show with that. I've been looking for it all day, and I don't know what video I've got 4 videos with Jonathan, but they're lives, and because we were here earlier for summer and all that good stuff. Oh, thank you, Prayer Warrior. Okay. I'll make sure you all have that status to ban and time out, just because, you know, there's no place in a children's where you're looking for missing children for people that come in with hate. So we'll just kick them right out. You can find somewhere else to go. Okay, so this is his sister. This is his father. Credit to Cairo 7. Let me get the banner up. Sorry, y'all. There you go. Okay. And this is just a recent search that they did.
A new clue and new hope for the family of a missing Arlington man, Jonathan Hoang, who's autistic, disappeared 3 months ago, but his family believes he was spotted in Kirkland just last week.
There's the
Car 7's Jason Sloss is in Kirkland, where a new search was launched this morning. Jason believes he was spotted in Kirkland 3 months ago, but
right there.
His family believes he was spotted in Kirkland just last week. Car 7's Jason Sloss is in Kirkland, where a new search was launched this morning. Jason.
Here at Juanita Beach Park, this was the staging area for a new search for Jonathan Hoang. His family says there's been no sign of him over the past 3 months until a possible sighting just last week.
Do you have a preference as to where you'd like to go or canvas?
People joining together in the search for Jonathan Hoang, thanks to a new clue. This security video, which Jonathan's family believes, shows him walking through a Kirkland neighborhood last week on Monday.
My parents and I watched it, and it looks like Jonathan. It really looks like the way that he walks, the way he carries himself, the way he holds himself. We're both hopeful, but also it's also hard because it's been over a week and he could be anywhere.
Jonathan.
I'm trying to get back to you guys. Sorry. So it's very sad. Now, I'm sure that if they did not find him in their first initial searches, they're still looking. Oh, you sent the family video? Thank you. Get your tissues. Every family, if they did this, it's just so touching. Thank you, Prayer Warrior. This is like a public message. I'm going to take that banner down from Jonathan's family to Jonathan, May 9th. So that was March, April, 5 weeks after he went missing. So 5 weeks after he went missing. I know, Beth, I banned him. We in this entire community just don't talk like that. We accept each other regardless of whom we are. So I got him out. I'm sorry, hon. But this is something that I think if everyone did, and I'm not going to end yet. So I still want to keep going, but I will pull this up, okay? I didn't realize. I just wanted this. I want you to, maybe, you know what? I'm going to share it with you now. Maybe that will show some of you how much this family is looking for him. Now, she said we're both hopeful. The mom, I'm not sure if there's more of a language barrier, and that's why in this she says less. I don't understand why, where mom is right now, maybe, but she's not, it's dad and the sister running the effort, it seems. But let's look, and I'm going to share this with you right now after all. This is the family.
Jonathan's father. If I can say so, I am Hoang, Jonathan's father. If I can say something to Jonathan, this is what I would like to share. My dear son, be brave and know that you're not alone. God and his angels are by your side, loving you and enfolding you in their wings. Your family, friends, neighbors, and people around the country are with you. You know we love you when you're at home, in your room. It's no difference now, or even if you are thousands of miles or light years away. I know you're hurting and asking for help, asking to come home. No matter what, know that we will never stop loving you, looking for you, or ever giving up on you. Daddy loves you, Mama loves you, and Jesus loves you.
Hi, my name is Hoang. I'm Jonathan's mom, and this is Lady. 3 words that come to mind when I think of Jonathan are chai tea, tickles, and faith. Jonathan, we love you, and I have faith that you will be found soon.
I'm Jonathan's aunt, holding Jonathan's hand and guiding him along when he was just a few years old, or a simple hug. My memories of Jonathan may be simplistic and commonplace to many, but to me, those moments with him remind me of how sweet, gentle, and innocent he was and is.
Ông là ông nội của Jonathan. Jonathan đã là 37 ngày rồi. Ngày nào, sáng, trưa, chiều hay bất cứ lúc nào, hình ảnh của Jonathan cứ lãng vảng trên ông và ông nhớ cầu nguyện cho Jonathan nhiều lắm. Ông không làm gì được hết, chỉ biết cầu nguyện. Tuy nhiên có điều ông muốn nói không phải chỉ cầu nguyện cho Jonathan mà thôi, mà ông luôn luôn cầu nguyện cho ba má của Jonathan. Vì Jonathan, ba má cũng cần lời cầu nguyện lắm, cần sự bình an lắm, cần sự phó thác lắm. Xin Chúa nhậm lời con.
Bà là bà nội của Jonathan. Trong chuyến đi Blue Ridge Parkway, Jonathan và bà trên đường đi lên đỉnh đồi cao, bà nghĩ là bà không thể nào đi được. Jonathan nói với bà, I will help you, let me go up and check. Sau đó Jonathan xuống, dìu bà lên. Cứ như vậy nhiều lần, cho tới khi lên được đỉnh đồi.
Jonathan is my cousin. One thing I truly remember about him is the day his sister Irene got married, the smiling face he had, just looking and, honoring his sister. I do wish Jonathan does come home. So Jonathan, if you can, please come home soon. We all miss you, and
your family needs you back home.
My name is Preston, and I'm Jonathan's cousin. When I think of him, 3 words that come to my mind are kind, thoughtful, and caring. We're all really worried about you, Jonathan, and we're all hoping and praying for your safety. We think about you every day.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and Jonathan's aunt. I remember a story my mom told about Jonathan, where my mom and dad took a road trip to Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina with my brother's family a few years back, where Jonathan shows so much kindness, thoughtfulness, and compassion toward my mom, his grandma. That's the kind of person that Jonathan is to me. Jonathan has an air of gentleness, tenderness, and sweetness about him.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Hoang's sister. When I think of Jonathan, I think of Minecraft and Legend of Zelda and Mario Kart. I think of Super Smash Bros. And Red Robin burgers. I think of Buffalo Wild Wings and Italian sodas. I think about root beer floats and all of the moments in our childhood where I helped take care of him. I think about the dandelion he picked for me when I was in high school because he saw I was sad and not feeling well. I think of the poem he wrote for me in school when I left for college because he was sad and he missed me. I think of a Saturday 12 years ago when my parents asked him what he wanted to do and told him he could do anything he wanted that day. And he asked to drive to my college over an hour away just so he could have lunch with me. Jonathan, if I could say anything to you right now, it would be that I love you so much and I miss you and I will never stop looking for you.
Let me compose myself. That just, no matter how many times you watch it, that is something, isn't it? The love. They have been through the ringer too with the law enforcement, begging them to help, begging them to search, or begging them to look at footage. And they went, like I said, straight to the top. They also have, I think it's the National Autism Association, who put out a document, and everything that law enforcement claimed they had done, they had taken it and countered with the truth, they said. And it was absolutely wonderful. That mother, I did see her. It wasn't the mother with the language barrier, it was the grandparents. So excuse me for saying that. What a wonderful family. And they are, I think it was Ginger who said, if that's him, they're close. Yes, I agree. If that is Jonathan indeed, thank you for sending that, by the way, Woman's Wear. If that is Jonathan indeed, they are close, because he's somewhere in that neighborhood. And it is scary because Woman's Wear, you could be right. He could have escaped somewhere and is looking for his house. That's why he walked up to that door or whatever. I don't know. But the family seems to think someone's helping him because he's clean and, Oh, good. Prayer Warrior said she led. Let's see here. I read that Kirkland LE is working with them. I'm not sure if Sumner County has done anything yet. They seem to be as handy as another. Oh, Sonoma. I can't say it right. Sonoma County. They seem to be as handy as another SCSO we know of. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Yes. They've given the family a real hard time. And the family knows darn well that in their eyes, he did not walk away. He likes home. He loves home. He wanted to stay at his transition school a whole nother year and be at home. He loved his patterns of his walks around the neighborhood, which he would do. He was, so, and as you see with this family, Snow Home-ish, thank you, Prayer Warrior. As you see with this family, and I know, people can put on, but I don't think this is putting on, because they went to the FBI to complain within a week. And they've got the Autism Association speaking out. So very, very much advocates. They very much are looking for him. And would that not be wild that he is in a neighborhood, you know, an hour away and on the similar street? That worries me. Hey, Raymond, welcome back in. That worries me, right? But I hope you're right. If it's him, they're close. Now they did that search. They obviously didn't find him through that, but we don't know if they came up with any clues. We can check. Prayer Warrior, do you know if they got anything from their search this week? And I will go ahead and show the video you sent me, and then I'll come back and see if you have an answer to that. Thank you all for what you contribute when you know something about the case. I don't know everything, so I appreciate it. Is it one little piece about Jonathan, or is the whole thing about Jonathan? Do you know, Prayer Warrior? Hold on, everyone. Let me check it out. Oh, there's the father. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Okay, got it. Okie dokes. I'm going to mute myself. Be right back.
The worst, but praying for a positive outcome.
Somebody may have taken her. At this time,
Meanwhile, a Louisiana mother is marking her son's 35th birthday, hoping a new photo released might bring him home. Only son. Now to the press, he will somehow find his piggy bank. And now to this week's featured case, Jonathan Hoang, a young man from Washington State. He has autism and left home without his comforting coat, the money from his piggy bank, and his cell phone. The 21-year-old's family is hoping that even though he doesn't know his own address, he will somehow find his way back to them.
A mother's lonely vigil, waiting for her only son.
It's kind of sad.
If there's a lighthearted moment in the Hoang house, especially one involving a birthday,
oh, you spit all over.
Middle child Jonathan is in the middle of it.
Can I blow out the candles with my hand now? Okay. It's not working. You gotta lick the candle. There. You did it.
When I look at that vision of him, it certainly does look like, in my opinion, the person in the footage. Hi, Retha. We are too. Good to see you. Happy 4th of July. Yeah, that family plea, I was crying. I was crying, tearing up. I had to mute. You guys probably heard me sniffling. So, welcome in, Retha. Yeah, this right there looks like him in that image from the footage to me. I see what the family's saying.
Diagnosed with autism, the 21-year-old circle doesn't extend past his tight-knit family.
He really doesn't socialize much. He does his daily walk every day from our house up to the school bus stop and come back.
As a young boy, and even as he grew, Jonathan needed extra support.
What are you doing, Johnny?
Aides to help him at school.
Yeah, but what else are you doing? You are. And you're laminating.
And comforting routines to de-stress at his home in Arlington, north of Seattle.
He's not capable of doing things like cooking himself a meal or going to a store.
Some people with autism do run off, but not Jonathan.
He keeps to a routine and he asks for permission to do most anything, whether it's going for a walk or even to get a drink of water, he would ask for permission.
And that's why what happened between his bedtime at 7:30 on Sunday, March 30th, and the next morning was instantly distressing.
I was already at work, and then my wife called about 6:38 time frame and said, "Hey, did you take Jonathan to school?"
She sounded frightened and said, "Jonathan's missing." She said, "I can't find him anywhere." And she said, "Should I call the police?" And I said, "Yes, call the police."
The first thing we look is, well, did he take his jacket? Because if he went anywhere, we would have his jacket. So didn't have his favorite jacket on, didn't bring his wallet, his IDs at home, his passports at home. He has cash that he saved and his little piggy bank. That's all here.
The family found a lower level door unlocked, his mom's gardening shoes missing, along with Jonathan's iPad.
That was another thing that made me really sick when my mom told me, because a lot of people with autism use iPads to self-regulate, but he never took that iPad out of the house.
I don't do these interviews. I've turned out.
Strikingly similar to Sebastian's case. Went to bed, boy, 7:30 is early for a 21-year-old, but he walks a lot and stuff. But went to bed, woke up, mom couldn't find him. Now, they did find an unlocked door. I hadn't heard that. The mom's shoes are missing, even though law enforcement was reporting he didn't have shoes on. The family was distressed about that. They, in an article, because they said they had been trying to tell them there was a pair of shoes missing. So he didn't take his cash. He doesn't take the iPad out of the house unless he's taking a plane ride or a car ride, and his coat is his security, and he didn't take it. So, or his phone. So very, very sad. Let's keep going. Very sad.
Found several before this one.
The Hoang family's private investigator shares their growing concern about the commitment deputies are making to the case.
The only reason I'm doing this is because I see no other way to actually get, the attention that this case needs.
The sheriff's office has made multiple postings and alerts detailing an extensive 6-day effort involving 150 searchers, drones, a helicopter, and canine teams.
I don't see why it's not in the realm of possibility that this could be a criminal investigation.
In a tense, nearly 2-hour meeting with the sheriff and her team, the family pushed to get Jonathan's digital trail preserved. They say his iPad connected to the network once, days after he went missing.
The person who's in possession of the iPad know where Jonathan is, or they have information that needs to be investigated.
The sheriff's office says the lead detective spoke to an Apple rep who could not confirm a login or any activity from the iPad.
One of your deputies or sheriffs told my mother, "Oh, he can go off and start a new life if he wants, and he'll probably come home with a wife and 2 kids and a beard, and you'll have a good laugh about it."
What do y'all think about that statement? Hey, Raymond, I hope you're having a good 4th too. What do you think about that statement? He can leave if he wants, and they have explained to him that he is not of his actual years of age where he is emotionally and mentally. And he said you could go off, can go off on his own. And that's why they did have to go up to the top and get help, is because they know he, something's up. And, even if he left on his own, something's up because he's distressed, right? And that footage shows him disoriented. But what a heartless, in my opinion, thing to say is he could leave on his own and, you'll see him in a few years with a beard and 2 kids and a wife and get a laugh about it. This is Jonathan Hoang, Shirley, Hoang. This is our 5th. I think we've covered him 5 times. This is our 4th or 5th time. He's very similar situation as far as the departure with Sebastian. no coat, no cash, didn't take their phones, unlike them, among many other things. No footage of them leaving the homes. Hi, Panda Bear's mom. No footage of them leaving the homes. So very similar. Both have autism. Jonathan's from Washington. Jonathan has a mole on his right inner forearm and moles on the left side of his face, and he will respond to his name. Okay. If you see him, you're to call 911. Family is very much advocating. That was the perfect statement where the mother challenged the police officer and said, what is it, about, kind of like, this is a criminal investigation. Like, hello, what's it going to take? So this is News Nation credit too. And thank you, Prayer Warrior, for sending this to me. Welcome in.
Community taking the Hoang family's pain quite seriously, fanning out in search parties, posting flyers.
One of our families here in our community has had their son has been missing.
And turning to faith.
We're going to pray a prayer just to surround that family.
This, the last video the family has of Jonathan, shows his routine walk, one he returned home safely from. For now, his family waits, for they know the young man who himself still waits eagerly can help in your guys' search.
Jonathan is very gullible, very trusting, and he can't do things by himself. So to help him, if anyone sees him, you ask for his name and ask if he needs help. We have a lot of tips from witnesses that said they've seen him, but really don't get the detail needed to confirm by the time law enforcement arrive. They cannot confirm that it was Jonathan or it was the wrong person. So I guess the biggest takeaway here is that he's not capable of taking care of himself. He's in distress without his medication, and he would never leave his home, his safety zone, on his own without caution. Someone has really convince him, persuade him, and very likely through his iPad. That's the only device he used extensively throughout the day to self-regulate. And someone has groomed him to get him out of the house and then abducted him once they got their hands on him.
So let's talk about
he's out there.
The iPad and the digital clues that it might provide. We mentioned a moment.
And I agree with those of you saying in the chat that a mother knows, a parent knows, and I agree. And there is something on the family's Facebook. Let me get it. That says something like Apple has not responded yet. And that makes me furious, because if they haven't been able to, we're about to hear with the digital, but they're now thinking that this is connected to the iPad. That should be already, right? Traced, checked out. I don't know. Let's look. Yes, I'm waiting to hear back from you, Panda Bear's mom. I've been checking, my dear.
A minute ago, there was a sign-on to the iPad at least once after he disappeared. Do you know where and what that entailed?
Yes, my brother-in-law had called Apple technical support on behalf, stating that the iPad was stolen. So the technician at Apple went online to the database and found that the iPad was online briefly on April 2nd. They won't divulge privileged information about the device without a warrant or a subpoena, because for privacy matters. But they did ask, it was the iPad 5th generation, the serial number, and it matches what Jonathan had at the time.
Okay.
So that information was passed on to the sheriff department.
I know that's frustrating. It feels like that's a clue that you so desperately want to have, and some of the laws that preclude you from getting that. The night of March 30th, which was a Saturday, into that Sunday morning, somewhere in that time is when Jonathan left. Can you recall his behavior prior to that, like in the hours before? Was there anything unusual?
He went on his usual walk. The only unusual aspect of it was he asked to go sleep downstairs in the guest room that evening. I was on the treadmill running, and he said it's making a lot of noise. He wants to go downstairs to sleep, and I told him, "Hey, it's really early. I'll be done in an hour or so, way before your bedtime." Then he said, "Okay." He went away, and I asked him to take a dog out before he go to bed, which he dutifully did. Got his jacket on, got his fitted beanie hat and his shoes, took the dog out, put it away, put his jacket away, and went back to his room. And he came out again a few minutes later holding his iPad, saying, "Hey, Dad, I don't feel well. Do you think I can stay home tomorrow?" And I said, "Well, just sleep on it. If you don't feel well in the morning, reassess with Mom, and you can stay home if you don't feel well." And he kind of nodded and went back into his room. And shortly thereafter, I looked up from the treadmill, and he was on his way downstairs. And I asked him, "Jonathan, where are you going?" He said, "Oh, I'm going to go to sleep." I thought it was kind of odd because I was going to be done soon, but it didn't occur to me that to ask him anything more. But I said, "Okay, have a good night, Jonathan." And he went downstairs, and that was the last time I saw him.
Heartbreaking, isn't it? So he went down into the guest room, which was unusual for him. They did find a downstairs door unlocked, and his mother's slip-on house shoes, garden shoes, out, missing. He, as like Sebastian, didn't take his coat, his shoes. Sebastian Rogers, I'm talking about, didn't take his coat, his shoes. They both have autism. And he has his iPad, and they can't find, all they were able to find out is by saying it was stolen, is that there was a login 3 days after Jonathan had been last seen, but they can't get any more information. It's protected. So we'll see if they get it with the search warrant, what happens. The post on Facebook was they're still waiting to hear from Apple. So that's, I think, when it comes to a missing person, not an adult, but a missing child or an adult that's vulnerable like this, that they need to do something about the laws where that can be accessed in order to track them, right? In order to track them. And the fact that he wanted to not go to school the next day, that makes me worry. Was something going on? Was someone bullying him? Was there something he didn't want to face? Was something happening? What was he dreading? Why didn't he want to go? The parents had said he had just told them that night that he wanted to stay at transition school another year because he liked it there and he likes being at home. They said he's happy. So the fact that he didn't want to go to school, and then he slept somewhere different, and there's a door downstairs in the guest room, and there's a door down there unlocked. So something had him, and they think someone lured him through the door, or to come out through his iPad. But yes, Prayer Warrior, you're correct. At least with Jonathan, there's evidence that he left. Well, did they have a scent for Jonathan, Prayer Warrior? What is that evidence that he left? I'm just curious. Because we're not sure that was him on the sighting. So what I believe he was lured too. I do too. He could have even been lured by bullies, right? And that's why he didn't want to go to school. Maybe, I hope they investigated most of the kids at school, right? Well, it doesn't sound, I don't know. The family that might not have happened. I wonder. An unlocked door. Okay. But do we have a scent or anything? He was not caught on footage leaving. So an unlocked door, anyone can unlock, right? What is the evidence that he left? Was there a scent? Footage? I did hear there was no footage caught of him leaving. Hi, Teresa. So good to have you. You know what I'm saying, prayer warrior? So that, I'm not saying that he didn't leave. I'm just saying, was there specific evidence that he left other than he's not there right now? Because I know there wasn't footage or anything. This family is his father. What a wonderful, seems like such a wonderful, graceful man, right? Wonderful, graceful man. So a very heartbreaking story. And they are close. They just did a new search. They're targeting a neighborhood around Juanita Park I always forget the names. He's in Arlington, lives on 114th Drive. And the family is convinced that footage, and we'll look at it again before we end, of him on 114th Lane in Kirkland. He lives on 114th Drive Northeast in Arlington, and they believe he was spotted on 114th Lane Northeast in Kirkland. Wow, right? So that could very well be him, and if it is, like you said, Gypsy, they're close. And it does look like they said someone is helping him. Well, he doesn't know how to cook or anything, so someone's got to be feeding him. He didn't take money. And he's in different shoes, right? If this is him. So if this is him, they're close. They've narrowed him down to a neighborhood. So let's go ahead and end with watching the footage one more time. Let me share this tab. Make sure you all have it. Perfect. Yes, nice family time. Don't forget we have a reunion tomorrow. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Wait, we can't stop. I am going to gift some memberships. I think I did. Are you ready? I am going to gift 5 memberships right now, so we have 5 more people who can join us tomorrow. There we go. I just did it. Okay, Dancing Queen, Susan, Nunia, Renee. Let's see. I Spy and Rose Alecki. Is that anyone in here right now? Is that anyone in here? So 5 memberships just went out. Retha Bell, your name was there. I just looked at it, and they went all around you. I don't understand it. I don't understand how it works. I wish we could, to make sure it went to someone who was currently in your chat, right? So, but welcome into all our new members. Tomorrow we're meeting. It's usually 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure. Tomorrow it'll be around that time. And there's been a lot going on, with the ransom, the Brian Kohlberger, all the things going on in the trials, Jonathan's sighting. So we'll talk about a lot of things. None are here. Isn't that strange, Gypsy? Make sure you all have checked something in order to be able to receive gifts, gifted memberships. There's something you have to do. You got one another month? Oh, good, Retha. I'm glad. Yeah, isn't that strange? Because we'll often have people who come in and go, hey, I was gifted a membership. Thank you. I'm sorry I wasn't here. So I'm not sure. Excuse my throat. I'm not sure. I sure wish we could limit it to who is actually in the house at that time, right? Let's watch the footage before we close for Jonathan Hoang. Prayers up for the family. True group of advocates. Loved hearing the mother say to them, calling them out about a criminal investigation. Clear, they don't think it's a criminal investigation, okay? What a mess. They've just had to beg. It's happening more and more. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Teresa. I'll look at it. Thank you very much. Okay, hello to everyone in the bushes and replay. Thank you for being here. Okay, y'all, we're going to watch the footage one last time.
Home surveillance video from Kirkland is sparking new hope in the journey to find Jonathan Hoang.
It's our best chance finding him at this point.
Surveillance video from Kirkland is sparking new hope in the journey to find Jonathan Hoang.
He's really trying, to find his way home.
His family says
he's really trying, to find his way home.
His family says the person caught on camera on the evening of June 23rd bears a remarkable resemblance.
Resembles my brother, and what stood out to me is the way in which he walked.
Okay. Look at his profile. Do you think, let me enlarge it and let's see if you think that looks like Jonathan to you guys. I don't think I can.
He walked and carried himself, his posture.
His sister says the location
himself, his posture, the way in which he walked and carried him is the way in which
they would know, right? I hope it's him. The profile to me, I haven't looked at his profile, but it sure does look like him. And they did say he was going, which is what he does. That's his verbal stem. He looks like his arms are crossed. I agree with whoever, Gypsy, I believe it was you, who just said he looks cold. He looks like, he's holding it. At first I thought perhaps his arm was injured the way he was holding it in the footage, but it more so looks like he's just got his arms crossed around himself. But they're right. Someone's helping him because look, he doesn't look a mess, awry, disheveled, right? So I hope he is in that neighborhood. And it's so strange that is the same street name. He lives at 114th Drive Northeast in Arlington. This footage is from 114th Lane Northeast, Kirkland. And I do agree with Woman's Warrior in the chat that it would be very scary if he was able to get away from someone and is looking for his home and he's on this street thinking, he's wrong about where he is. Very sad, very scary. I hope this is him. I hope, I pray, I send good vibes, wishes, everything that they find. It does look like him, right, Raymond? That's a much better photo than originally, or much better footage that was originally put out. Actually, I'm going to take a photo of that now so I can put that side by side and look at that. But yes, that is Jonathan Hoang, autistic, out of Washington, 21 years old. However, he is more like a 10-year-old in his behaviors, actions, capabilities. He last seen March 30th until this possible sighting this past week, I think June 23rd, on the same street name, just lane and drive and a different town. Strange, right? 114th Drive Northeast, 114th Lane Northeast. He's in Arlington. He's he lives in Arlington, and this footage is from Kirkland. So it does sure look like him, and I sure hope it is. But boy, they're close then, right? Yes, prayer warrior, I agree. I agree about the arm movement. The way he's positioning his arms as well. Yes, the body language is very, do you guys want to, I'll show it to you one more time. The way he moves is very specific, right? So I think that so many family members thinking it's him, they're convinced. Let's watch it one last time. I sure hope it is him. Jonathan Hoang, everyone. We need him to hope this family brings him home.
He's really trying, to find his way home.
His family says the person caught on camera on the evening of June 23rd bears a remarkable resemblance.
Resembles my brother, and what stood out to me is the way in which he walked and carried himself, his posture.
His sister says the location of the possible sighting is interesting too.
That the street number is 114th Lane, Northeast 114th Lane, Kirkland, and my parents live on 114th Drive, Northeast in Arlington.
His family says the person caught on camera on the evening of June 23rd bears a remarkable resemblance.
Resembles my brother, and what stood out to me is the way in which he walked and carried himself, his posture.
His sister said,
and that is Jonathan Hoang. His school's about an hour-ish from Kirkland. Oh. Well, he lives about an hour-ish from Kirkland, yes. Yes, he does. So his school is near okay, an hour-ish as well. Awesome. I pray it is him too, and he's alive, Raymond. And I hope that they are able to get the search warrant. I really think we need to do something about when it's involved with someone who is a child missing or a vulnerable adult missing, that this could be handled a little bit more, right? Quicker, expeditious. So someone logged in to his iPad on April 2nd. He was last seen by his family March 30th. So they know it's a ping because they called it in. I think he said the PI called it in and said it was lost. They've pinged it, or they found out it was turned on, but couldn't get more information from that without a warrant, search warrant. So we'll see if Apple, the update was they had not heard from Apple yet, but this is very serious, right? It's so serious. And Teresa says, I would recognize him if he were my brother with that body language. Yes, his mannerisms are very, specific's not the word for that, unique to him, right? Absolutely. Even his gait, the way he walks, the way he holds his arm. To me, it looked like he was holding his right arm. Like I said, like he was hurt, but it looks like now he's just holding his arm. Sorry, y'all. Can you hear me now? I was talking. I did kick myself out, and I came back in and then forgot to put myself back on the stage. Can you hear me now? There we go. Thank you, Gypsy, for commenting in the chat. I did. I came back in and was talking a storm up. Yes, Apple should be held responsible. There should be something changed when it comes to missing and vulnerable people, children. And that, because that could give them a lot of information as to the location, as to where that was. Right? Raymond. It's always something with me. That would be the location. they could get the location there. So that's really, and I still don't understand what the family meant in the beginning. Shortly, a few weeks after, a month after the beginning, saying, we think we may know where he is, but we need help, law enforcement's help or something. I don't know why they wouldn't go there. I agreed with you guys in the chat. I'm not sure, but there's a reason, because look at, I mean, I don't know. Why wouldn't they go there? If they think they know where he is or who he was with, however they put it, why didn't they do that? Or go there? Or contact the people, right? Or have law enforcement go there? I don't know. Gypsy said, speaking of Apple, I still have 2 of my grown kids on my account. I did that so if they ever went missing, I could get Apple to give me the location since they are on my bill. Good thinking. And following up with, not like Jonathan is paying his own bill. You are so right. That is such a great point. I'm going to ask that question in the Facebook group. I really am. So that is Jonathan Hoang, Washington, Arlington, Washington, Sonoma County. There is now a $100,000 reward. That's why parents get in front of the media. Get in front of the media. There was a $10,000 reward. Someone watched Dateline article, and now they donated $90,000 towards the reward. It came out yesterday. There's a $100,000 reward now for Jonathan Hoang out of Washington. Autistic, he will respond. Please call 911, take a photo or a video. The family's asking, call 911 immediately. And he may be in the area of Juanita Park in Kirkland on 114th Lane Northeast, in that area. If you do see him, please call 911 immediately. Capture a video or a photo as well after you call 911. Yeah, I don't understand why they couldn't. I don't have all the answers, but I will, I'll ask. There's a group on Facebook. Ask that question in their group. I'm going to find out the other question I said. Yeah, they haven't helped them out a lot, and it's just upsetting that we're having this occur more and more, right? It shouldn't be happening at all. If you're choosing to be in a career where you lead, you protect, and you serve, then do it. And if you don't want to do it, go do something else. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Panda Bear's mom, let me know, because if that's not going to work out, then I will go ahead and do a little show on him regardless. Thank you so much for being here. Happy 4th of July. I will see you for sure tomorrow. And you keep keeping on, be safe, and we will talk soon. Thank you all. It's been really fun today spending time with you. Thank you. And mods, thank you again.